Pick up one of our classic 3.5-inch Velcro PVC patches now featuring the Typhoon to help support the channel via the link in the description below. Thank you and enjoy. First of all, talk us through the squadron, what it's all about, and how you became a part of it.
Yeah, great question. The Red Eagles, as we were more commonly referred to, were it was the 4477th Test and Evaluation Squadron at Nellis, and that was the front story, or the cover story of the squadron was we flew highly modified, unspecified F-5 and F-4 test aircraft. So that was our cover story. What we really did was we flew MiG-21s and MiG-23s in a clandestinely obtained aircraft from around the world, a few countries, which we'll get into here in a bit, I'm sure. But the whole idea was to have these aircraft and have an entire squadron, as opposed to where the aggressors or Navy Top Gun fly in either F-5s or A-4s, simulating what an F-5 simulating what a MiG-21 or a MiG-17 might be like. The idea behind the Red Eagles is let's go out and get an entire squadron of the real thing, and then we'll secretly, match our frontline fighter pilots, both Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps, to come up periodically and fight against them and get to see it in a very, very controlled environment, very classified. And so that's what the program was about. Let's get the real aircraft flown by some of our very best pilots who have flown the aircraft they're going to now be pitted against, and teach them how to fight this aircraft in the visual arena. Because one of the lessons learned, as I'm sure you know, Mike, coming out of Vietnam, post-Vietnam, U.S. Navy did the ALT report, and of course the U.S. Air Force had its Red Baron reports. But if you boil it all down, what they found out from those reports was the U.S. Air Force or the U.S. military had really lost its way as far as the art of dogfighting in Vietnam compared to what we had done in Korea. So you have things like Navy Top Gun was created, the aggressor squadrons, Red Flag at Nellis. All those things were great, but the one missing piece was the actual realism. Can we get the real thing? And that was the brainchild of some young majors in the halls of the Pentagon who had been to Vietnam in the F-4, a couple tours, and were also fighter weapons school grads. And, as we fighter pilots want to do, sitting around having your pints, thinking about what if we could really do this. And so it germinated out of that into, they got the ear of a couple of high-ranking generals who thought, hey, we've got a handful of MiGs already, just a handful. Let's see if we can go out and get the real thing. So it's like most things in the U.S. military. If you start dumping money on it, it'll grow. And that's what they did, and they got the green light to do it. And so the Red Eagles, became a thing in 1977. A year later, they actually started flying airplanes, and started slow. But that's what the whole program was about. Let's get the real thing with some of our very best fighter pilots who are going to be instructors in it. Fly them against our frontline F-15, F-16, F-18, F-14s, you name it. And then when we get done flying that afternoon, let's go in and meet and debrief face to face so we can really tell them what they did right and maybe more importantly, what they did wrong and how to beat us. So that's what the Red Eagle program was all about.